Well, the old saying is you fight the war with the army you got. So I guess that makes sense. We're underway. Game number one. ET versus Yeriko. ET on the left, Yeriko on the right. And both using the Razor Shield setup, so that's good to see from Yeriko, being a newer gamer here. Good to see that. Both just kind of working here. Yeriko going a little more right door action. Oh, but takes a death when a shield piece breaks off. Not the start he wanted. Oh.
I mean, that foot soldier doing Mission Impossible right now. How did he get through all that to even do anything? But it won't even be the worst. I mean, a 40 for ETGoHAM, a 45 for Yeriko. That's a drop, right? But yeah, what? How?
It's just not the way you want to start a matchup where you are the underdog. An orb for Ham in the middle. My goodness. But an orb for Yeriko in the middle. That might be the first time all season here we've had back-to-back orbs. Did Ham drop his orb?
I think so, and now has grenades. What happened over there? I was seeing if Yeriko got that orb and did, and now, I mean, razors will help you right here, but now an orb down on ETGoHAM's side. Not how you want to begin in game one either.
Grenades allowing these swarmers to get in awfully close. Yeriko's living dangerously. It'll be a 128 for ET, and Yeriko's actually going to make up a second. It's 132. Ham dies at the start of this room. Not the worst thing, especially when that shrapnel came out the door he was coming out himself.
Yeah, that's the good old Princely sacrifice that was brought up before. Not the worst thing in this room. Hey, you take that death, you get that invulnerability. That might help you more than just this old pea shooter will do for you. So, not the worst thing ever. But yeah, hunting for that orb drop again.
A few technical issues here. Pardon us while we get that sorted. Meanwhile, Yeriko got a razor shield, made the room really easy. It's a 212 versus, well, it's going to be a slight time loss here for Yeriko. Was a little inefficient, losing a couple seconds, down 6. Let's see now. Razor shield at the bottom. Can Yeriko get there? Fights over to it as Ham runs out of rockets, gets a spreader.
Yeah, good enough on Yeriko's side. Just kind of cleared out that bottom column and then just made their way over. Razors and Spreader on ETGoHAM's side, both getting rockets now, solo rockets against the double rockets that Yeriko has on ETGoHAM's side. But yeah, still chasing down that orb.
Still, though, the longer it goes after Ham has dropped that orb in collect power-ups, you just don't see that very often. Of course, you don't see a death in the first room very often. Unusual events in this opening game of this match. See, is Yeriko going to use that nuke? Decides to ignore it. And Ham is going to load those rockets and will be out first. This nuke is pretty good, though. Yeriko's got to be careful of the mines. It's almost a tie here. It's close.
Yeah, with a slight item advantage here, that time could quickly be made up with some good firing lanes. We'll see how they both do going into tank trouble. But we are for product placement. Oh, Taco Bell. Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
Get it out of the way nice and early, and let's see what ET and Yeriko are going to get as opening drops in tank trouble. We have an orb for ET, who cuts away to get it, spread at the top of the room. Dangerous item to go after, but Yeriko gets it, cleans up the gutters, gets a rocket drop. Got to be careful of the shrapnel.
Stayed alive, though.
My goodness.
My goodness.
Ow.
Oh,
Finally. Oh, man. Yeriko was dancing.
That was surprising. I thought dropped it maybe 2 or 3 times before actually dropping it. But gets it done, though. We'll now chain it into spreaders. This will do just fine as far as clearing out these foot soldiers. But yeah, now going to be that orb down, and ETGoHAM does have it. Still keep it theirs alive through some nice dancing, and there's a razor shield ETGoHAM side. We'll clear out this room.
Solid there from Ham. Got that first drop orb and made it work beautifully. Yeriko, though, no slouch, I gotta say, overall in the room. Did a good job chaining all those weapons together and is going to be out at 4:45, a 14-second lead or so for Ham.
There we go. And Ham doing a...
What a ball buster!
Yeah, great ball bust.
Textbook there, Tapatio.
Great ball bust and grab the grenades down at the bottom of the stage. Kind of a, not a great item, but when you have the orb, you're dealing double damage. And here's the spreader. One arm popped already. Let's see this form change.
Yeriko couldn't die for that one, unfortunately. Trying to manual, but that mine's in the way. And picks up the spreader and dies. You can see by his reaction, I think it was going to be too late anyway. But either way, unfortunate.
Oh, and I'm very interested here. Gonna get this spreader on the right. We'll be able to get to it. Has to dodge some lasers. Let's see this manual right here. A little pause strats.
All right.
Let's go.
We don't see too many of those, but you know what? It is kind of working a little bit. Got himself.
Get sabotaged.
Oh, man. Some rough stuff in the boss fight for Yeriko. But pause strats, you don't see that too often. It's going to be like a 4.5 lead right now. 4.25 as Ham looking for a weapon.
Yeah, we'll pop it. Takes a great death here. We'll be able to get to the spreader as long as it's not blocked. Won't be blocked. We'll get it. Not the greatest amount of invulnerability, but this should get it within the same form, and it does.
A question, is that a legal strategy? It is. The reason it is allowed is because you pause the game, unpause the game, you're giving away time. So we do allow it.
One of those, can they do that? And yeah, why not? Grenades, actually both of them, but ETGoHAM's gonna stay alive. Will not be able to get to these lobbers though, so they're both on final form here. Yeriko gonna be dealing the damage. What does ETGoHAM gets grenades? This is gonna be very close.
Very tight here. And a run over.
Oh no!
Run over. Yeah, it needs to continue with Yeriko. Yeriko is gonna take the opener here. What a wild set of events there. How close was Ham? Ham was close. That might have been a frame counter if that hadn't happened.
Oh, the health bar was minuscule at best right there for ETGoHAM. But Yeriko was able to keep up the damage, and then just all of a sudden they were in the same form, and he just gets those lobbers, gets enough. Is able to take game one with a 705. Let's go.
Could be a PB as well. The most recent submission to the board is a 716. Now, Yeriko's not been submitting each progressive PB, only submitting, I think, after a stream, and then here's my best one. So maybe not a PB, might be a PB. Hard to say. Either way, Yeriko taking the opening game, putting a little bit of pressure on Ham here, who returned out of the ether here after a few years off, and could be looking at the old, is 0 for there. 0 for who? 0 for 2. No? All right.
Hey, this is just it. Seeding, it matters some, and obviously when you're at the time that Yeriko was coming into this tournament, you're gonna get a rough draw like Aquas. But yeah, you start putting in some time. You start just kind of learning how this game operates, and if you've been playing lately, knowing how to deal with these shenanigans, I think Yeriko, like, that was the perfectly veteran play right there from someone who's in their first year. That's for certain.
It seems every year we have one rookie who will put a lot of grind in, and their second match in particular, they play well above their seating, and Yeriko's going to be the one showing that this year, for sure.
Reminds me of facing Joey Mittens, I think, last year, who took me out all of a sudden. It's like, oh, wow. Yeah, that didn't matter that you were 29th seed. Everybody is able to take me out as the next. So it is so impressive to see how people are picking this game up and able to really compete. And here we go into game 2, up 1-0 is Yeriko. Let's see how the drops shake out.
Both getting their Razor Shield set up here at Tapatio. Let's see what the next drop is. Nuke in the middle here, going to be in the way for Ham. Yeriko sticking to that right door. Hopefully not going to have the old Matrix soldier getting through the Razor Shield as it breaks. Gets a nuke there, but actually will keep the spawns going. But still, it looks like it's going to be ETGoHAM by a little bit. Oh, a grenade sabotage on Yeriko. Ugh.
Yeah.
And the reason that's a sabotage, for those wondering, it just kills your range, which is not what you want in these regular rooms. You need it to fire all the way across. So Ham with about a 2-second lead here is going to get a Razor Shield first. Invulnerability for Yeriko. Yeriko, another invulnerability. Orb for Ham. Great opening drops here for Ham.
Yeah, and a little bit of a shift right here. I mean, Razors with the orb, you're holding the center no problem. You're probably even doing a little bit of damage with the Razor Shield if you want to use it offensively here. See what this final drop is. We'll exit out here with quite a bit of spreader, so not too shabby for ETGoHAM side.
123 lead. Meanwhile, Yeriko still trying to finish the room out. You can see that drop disparity really playing out here as Yeriko is struggling to take him out. Does Yeriko not use diagonal fire? I hadn't really noticed, but seems very reluctant to use the diagonal shot. No, using some there at least. But yeah, that's an important tool in your toolkit there. Gets clubbed down. Oh, this has been not great for Yeriko early.
Yeah, that's a rough one to take. Yeah, another. The drop's not exactly lining up. I mean, Razor will help you right here in this room, but yeah, already out is going to be ETGoHAM onto on the Total Carnage here. Gets a key, unfortunately, for that first drop. But yeah, Pea Shooter and Razor.
Ham gets shrapped. He goes down. So a bit of a mistake there with his positioning as Yeriko's still struggling to finish this room and is going to be at a 229.
But yeah, no, you bring up a great point with the diagonal shots. I think it's just something that, you know, it comes with time and just being able to cut off, especially those foot soldiers. They'll get out of line if you're not firing down. And oh, ETGoHAM now another nuke. The drops have dried up on ETGoHAM side.
You actually missed him get an orb that he then dropped not too long after
Yeah,
that. So
yeah, that's true.
it has not been ideal. Yeriko, meanwhile, Razor Shield melting, Spreader running out, gets rockets here. This will help. As Ham gets clubbed down, this is the total carnage of all just hell right now. Oh my goodness, a disastrous total carnage. A shrapnel piece got through the shield, but it missed him. Oh my goodness. Swirl of Sorrow comes in, gets another orb. I don't think Yeriko's seen one yet, Tapatio.
Yeah, and there you go, right as you say it, right on the feet pretty much. We barely saw the icon spawn in. Yeriko will get that orb. Oddly enough, through everything, ETGoHAM will get into this bonus room first. But it has been...
Oh, the lead shrunk considerably. It's only like
Yes.
8 seconds now.
Yeah, not the way you want to get through Total Carnage for ETGoHAM. Let's see what this first drop provides for him with the orb here.
He's going to get a Razor Shield. It's a good drop. It's very scary through the bullets, but he got it done. And he's going to go for the weapon and break his Razor Shield in the process. Little impatience there. As Yeriko gets a foot drop and has to retreat now. Dancing, dancing. Down goes the orb.
Yeah, it's tough. And then in the corner, they're just getting swung on right there. We'll get the Razor Shield. Hopefully looks to clean up these gunners right here. Feet will help get the movement around. But yeah, looking for some weapons here. Dude won't do it. ETGoHAM side, holding it down. Razor.
Very
orb.
difficult orb position to grab there. And ETGoHAM shook off that Total Carnage and took care of tank trouble. Totally.
Yeah, doing a great job. It really didn't look like it was lining up, and then Yeriko taking another death here. This is, yeah, right at the end of the room too. Yeah, you're gonna get another spawn of foot soldiers all of a sudden, another shrapnel or two to deal with. Yeah, this one's just kind of bleeding out some time for Yeriko's side.
But here's the thing, Ham's not getting a ton of help from the game. Still has not popped an arm. The lead coming in is going to be 39 seconds. Finally a good weapon. We'll have to manual it though, and is finally popped an arm, but only one arm popped despite having almost 50 seconds of lead-in time. That is breathtaking in its horrifyingness. So Ham having a tough go here. Now chaining lobbers, so consistent damage here. So we'll see what Yeriko is going to see. That was a spreader, but not able to get to it in time.
Yeah, the mother henning, the rockets. I don't even know if ETGoHAM gets to those. Unfortunately, not. And so without a drop is ETGoHAM side all the time for Yeriko to be able to catch up. Oh, there's the spreader.
But
Will
it's
take
too
that
late.
death, but it's too late. No, no.
Too late. Oh no. Yeriko pops the arm. Now an invulnerability for
That
him.
that's wrong, game. What are you doing?
Ham's got to be feeling a little bit panicked at this point. With these lobbers, here's another spreader chance. Now Ham's not going to take the death. And he dies
no.
immediately.
And another.
Is that a vulnerability or a lobber? I didn't quite
I think
catch
that's
it.
an invulnerability.
Oh my goodness, no.
War flashbacks right now is probably having. Two
Ham's
arms popped.
Still in the lead. Ham is still in the lead somehow despite all this.
Grenades and lobbers are going to be on Yeriko's side, so it's going to be able to keep up. But yeah, head pop right there. A form advantage still for ETGoHAM. If the drops keep working the way they have, though, for him, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just in shock. All right, we have some paw strat attempts again here. Let's see what we can get. Pops the head. Here's a spreader for Ham, though, and this is probably the kill shot, even with the continue.
Yeah, that's got to be able to do it. Yeah, and at the very end, too. So really maximizing the transfer damage here. And that's a head. Pop twice, I suppose. Final form down. Yeriko getting to final form right there. Wow.
That was almost a 3-minute mutoid for Ham, and he takes the win. Wow. That is horrifying. So it's tied up at 1 apiece. That was one that Ham had a big lead, had a total carnage that you want to totally forget, a great tank trouble, and then a horrendous mutoid, man, where everything broke wrong, and Yeriko almost snaked game 2.
That reminds me of, one of those like F1 races where there's like rain on the track and everybody's just sliding off the course, that sort of thing. It's just like sometimes this game is just going to absolutely give it to you, and you need to be able to somehow battle through that and finish this race. It's I think Sigma brought up a great point of the difference between, perhaps races and maybe practicing for races and going for PBs. And you would have reset this thing, 2 minutes in if you were given some of the RNG that these guys have to deal with. But they have to battle through it, see what drops they get, and sometimes it's going to be an 8-minute run, just brutal stuff.
But hey, a win is a win is a win. You take your key and you move on to the next race. Decisive game 3 coming up. As we say, you don't win the match in game 3, but you set yourself up for overwhelming success if you can take this one to get that 2-1 lead. It just sets you up. So I'm hoping to see a little bit better on the diagonals from Yeriko this race. And Ham, I'm just looking for a total carnage that isn't a meteorite crashing into a heavily populated city.
I mean, you would hope that would just be the foot soldiers, but it seems to be taking out our players as well. That was quite a battle they had to fight through right there. But both, of course, starting out again, razor shield manipulation, no problem. Yeriko gonna hold that right door. I believe good old Prince Leaf strat, I think, would hold that right door as well.
Yeah, there's a couple players who do, but Leaf is probably one of the more famous ones. It's a 41 versus a 42. Very much just... Yeah, no, just close here. Closest we've been. Let's see what we get here. A foot versus invulnerability, then another foot. So we're starting out a little soft on the drops. We want to see something much better than that. We don't want to see that, though, as down goes Yeriko to a soldier.
Yeah, that early. I mean, again, you just not used to really dealing with deaths in this first room. I think he even grabbed an invulnerability on the feet right there. That's why that lasted a little bit longer. But then, yeah, you get a nuke, and it's like, where's the items game? Orb and razors on ETGoHAM side, though, so
Finally
we'll still get
an
out.
orb. Finally an orb. Just got to swing it through them. And it's going to be, what, a 130 versus a 137?
Yeah, so can make up that time. Not the greatest right here. Poor shrapnel on ETGoHAM side for a bit of time there. Was able to take care of him with the spreader. But yeah, getting a little wily here with some of these foot soldiers. Able to clean it up finally.
Yeriko used a nuke, so there will be about a 2-second time penalty for Yeriko in the room. It slows down the spawns will delay for the shrapnels, so it can cost you a bit of time. ETGoHAM having no trouble now with the swarmers gone. Yeriko scrambling a little here, getting close to that shrapnel limit.
But will get the rockets. This will, yeah, with some smart firing, and yeah, exactly, has pretty much, you talk about 5 to the 6 bars right here. So some good rockets for Yeriko starting out this room. Gets a little close, but yeah, that orb rotation able to make it work.
And the soldiers are closing in, but Yeriko is stepping away and just trying to clean them up. Ham, meanwhile, is doing a pretty good diamond dance in the middle. Has lost half of the dance area, though. Those grenades are a bit of a troll drop.
Yeah, again, I mean, we have the more or less worthless drops and keys and dudes, but when you get a grenade drop that just kind of blocking your way, you don't want to pick that up. It's kind of the worst drop to see for sure. Is the grenades right in the middle there, but nicely cleaned up
Nice.
from ETGoHAM.
Oh, he got a little close to that shrapnel, but swung himself back. It's a 313 on the exit. Yeriko, meanwhile, trying here to finish it up. Going to be close. There's the end. Just has to clean up the shrapnels. The last couple soldiers breaks the shield, but it's going to be about a 15-second lead or so.
Yeah, a little bit extra time getting out. Nice little savvy move right there, breaking the shield. I mean, not the most comfortable thing to do, and we've seen people run that orb, unfortunately, into perhaps the shrapnel wall trying to break that, but does get you a little bit of space there. Invulnerability on ETGoHAM side, so not the greatest. Will allow you to take those gunner shots. It does get both gunners down. Let's see what the first drop on
He
Yuriko's side is.
couldn't, Ham couldn't get back to the middle after killing the gunners. That's why corner strats can be a bit of a detriment. Yeriko's going hyper aggressive on those gunners, gets them gone.
Beautiful.
Now he's got to escape the corner. Can he get out?
I
Rockets
will,
for Ham.
yeah. Well, I will say, very impressed. Yuriko nicely moving out, using that orb rotation, does get finally clubbed down.
Finally clubbed down. That's disappointing. Man, Ham riding the vitamin R train here. Plenty of mulk is flowing, and we'll get it done in 4:33. Fortunately, couldn't get the orb there. He didn't wait for a clean area to grab it, but gets rockets, so not a bad consolation prize at all.
Yeah, this should more or less clean up the rest of the room just about. Maybe a little pea shooter action still has to happen here. It does get another rocket, so this will be valuable going into Mutoid here.
About a 25-second lead here as Ham has been getting grenades and rockets. Really not the best weapons. Slow damage output for Ham. Probably going to pop this first arm here soon, but yeah, there it is. But not much of a lead, not much happening. But Yeriko gets an invulnerability start. Here's a spreader chance for Ham. This will set up beautifully, Tapatio.
Yeah, able to get on the other side. Mutoid moving over to the left, and then yeah, just able to get on the right side. We'll take the death there. Won't be able to get the next item, but we'll get the next item after the next item, which is
Wow.
another spreader.
And the postrats for Yeriko dealing decent damage, getting a form and change. But in the time that happened, Ham got through about 2.5 weapons. That's why postrats are allowed. They can help, but they also cost you. Risk reward. And look at this. It's
Oh my!
over. Jeez.
Wow, he flew by that. I was just looking over at ET's side, and okay, yeah, we'll look over at Yuriko's, and then before you know it, he just melted down Mutoid Man there. That's more what you love to see. Get out of that Mutoid Man fight quickly, and stick those 7. Not too shabby from ET
All
Man.
time for Ham here. Unfortunately, Yeriko, who I probably again had a shot at a PB, still might, but the drops have not been favorable. How many invulnerable? That's 3 in a row now. Come on, game.
Yeah, sometimes this game will do it to you. It does get the lobbers here, so that should get you, well, We'll be able to probably get this. Yeah, not blocked. So hopefully down to final form here soon.
Unfortunately, run over here. Lobbers are such a difficult weapon to learn how to use because you only get them for the boss. And they're so tough because you have to move constantly and readjust your position. So final form here, Yeriko finishing this one up. Will be down 2-1 in this matchup. We'll have to win one to force a game 5. ETGoHAM with 2 potential shots at taking this down. It looks like Yeriko is just going to take the game over, and we'll be on to race number 4 here momentarily.
Yeah, I think all the potential for it to go to 5 here. The drops got to start kind of working that way. Like you said, the invulnerabilities, that was... it's too many invulnerabilities to be seeing. We want to see those invulnerabilities after we get the spreaders game. Come on now.
So we do have some more matchups scheduled in the upcoming stuff. We'll talk about that after this match concludes. And I also have an announcement to make at the conclusion of today's matches in regards as administrator of the tournament.
The big boss has a ruling. Vince is going to come down to the ring and make an announcement here at the end. But we still got a game 4 and a potential game 5 here between these two. This is one of those things to where I think ET at this point maybe kind of realizes a kind of dropped early game here. But being honest, I think ET probably looks good and cleans this up. But we'll see what the drops have to say about that as we go into game number 4.
So here we go, game number 4 underway, both with the Razor Shield, and again, the same strategies being deployed. Yeriko venturing a little further away from the door here for slightly better firing lines, but overall, Ham, I think, is slightly ahead on kills. It's pretty negligible. Going to use the nuke here to finish it up, and that is going to help him get out first as Yeriko struggles to get the last guy down. It's going to be a 40 versus, looks to be probably about a 44-45. Opening drop here is vulnerability versus, I still haven't seen one for Yeriko. There's a spreader. Let's see how this is going to play. Another spreader, another vulnerability. So really no big advantage here.
Yeah, spreader will keep you comfortable. I mean, you won't, you'll be able to deal with the ones that kind of move out diagonally on you. But
Over the feet.
Oh, there we go. And that's a very close one. Probably gets over to this spreader here, and yeah, is able to clear out the room. So yeah, very close times between the two. Slight lead for Yeriko with the spreaders going to eat my shrapnel.
Yeah, there was a shrapnel that held on for just a smidge on Ham's side behind the life counter, and that swung the lead.
A real close shave right there for Yeriko on the right side of the map. As the swirl came through, gets grenades as well, so that's kind of sketchy, but then gets the razors, so able to kind of free up right there. ETGoHAM still having to just rely on the weapons, just trying to chain those drops. Unfortunately, gets clubbed down right there, not the greatest, and will only get a shoe in return.
It wasn't, for someone saying in the chat there was a bit of an issue. I did have a bit of background noise here at home. That's probably you're picking up. And you see we have a lead change again. Ham has the lead by a couple seconds. Dies, though, at the start. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Total carnage has been total carnage for ETGoHAM today. And he goes down again. Oh, no. We'll get an orb, though. Does get an orb, though. Yeah, those grenades with that spread fire can get you in trouble. And now just trying to get back to the middle to control here.
Doing well enough with it. Unfortunately, yeah, having to kind of like drop out from exact center there. kind of recalibrate, and then gets the rockets, gets
And
the
he gets
razor.
shrapneled! Yeriko gets shrapneled!
That's
Oh, no!
rough, and the lead that was there potentially starting to gain in this room is gone. And now a nuke, that'll help clear it up, but you need now a few drops if you're on Yeriko's side to just finish this room off.
And you know what? Oh, he thought it was over. Good reaction at the last second. Gets an orb. 324 for ETGoHAM. Yeriko, as you can see,
Wow!
is going. Oh, he loses it on the shrapnel. He lost the
No!
orb. Oh man, we have seen some weird events in Total Carnage today. Not a room that usually causes issues for racers.
I mean, in parts, but yeah, right at the end, right there, the last enemy, it looked like he just got the drop that would keep him in it and potentially get him back this lead, depending on the tank treble drops. But unfortunately, just losing it right there, that's going to be harsh. You got rockets on ETGoHAM's side, going to be able to get back this center, looking dominant in this room, although almost losing it right there.
Yeah, and almost again, he is swinging it wildly towards enemies and just killing them in time. Oh my goodness!
How? How is he living with that orb right there? That is amazing. Keeps it alive, gets back to center somehow. And now, yeah, this is wild for me to ETGoHAM, but getting it done. Rockets, though, on Yeriko's side, able to get some damage out, keep the lanes a little bit, get back to center himself, able to dodge, and more rockets. This will help kind of close a little bit of the potential gap.
That's a 447 versus a 458. It's an 11-second lead for ETGoHAM. Will get a lobber as the first drop, easily gettable where it is. Misses the ball buster, and will now just use the lobber to kill those gunners quick. Orb gets taken down on Yeriko by the dying swirl.
ETGoHAM taking the death, able to get up to that spreader up top there. So gonna get an arm pop. Just gonna take it all the way right there. Unfortunately, won't get to those grenades. So one arm pop on Yeriko's side. Up a form or so, maybe even a little bit more. Lobbers and grenades on the two sides here.
It looks like another manual here. That's how Ham finished off the end of game 4 so well, with a very good manual. And again, going with a bit of a spot fire manual, also a very valid strategy. Unfortunately, gets vibrated. Yeriko gets one. Now going to pause stress to try to maximize damage. Pops the second arm. He is going for it here, and he has got himself back in this matchup. Gets sniped though. Will he get to those lobbers?
Does get to the lobbers with a head pop on ETGoHAM's side. It's about 2 forbs up right now. Gets more lobbers. Doing that classic damage right now is ETGoHAM. Getting shots, mostly landing, not too shabby here, and gets the final form.
Yeah, Yeriko has been a little inaccurate with the lobber fire as ET has to use it continue, but final form is the head pops. Yeriko wants to see that spreader. It's a foot. Picks it up, still could get it with another spreader here. It's going to be a grenade on the wrong side of the room.
ETGoHAM getting nothing though, does finally get a grenade, but just died and wasn't able to get the grenades before. This won't do it. These lobbers will though if he's able to land his shot.
Yeriko died and got no weapons, so the pressure's off for ET. Gets it done, and ETGoHAM is going to survive this matchup. 3 games to 1, but it could have easily gone the other way. This one was tight.
Yeah, this was actually really down to a couple drops here between our two runners. 705 is what ETGoHAM will close out with, and about a 718 for Yeriko. So yeah, very close as far as the times are concerned. Yeah, that's a drop or two, right?